All right, welcome back, mathematicians. Today, we are continuing with modeling equations. So we're going to be using algebra tiles to model equations. Now, before I get started, I want you to understand that all we're doing right now is just modeling. I'm not solving anything. All I want you to be able to do is to look at an equation and then use algebra tiles to represent that equation. That's it. Okay, we're really just reading these numbers and using these tiles to show what we've read. We're not solving anything, we're just showing it. Okay, so before we go on to the equations, let's do just a quick review of our algebra tiles. So when we're talking about algebra tiles, we have different tiles we can use. We can use tiles to represent positive and negative numbers like you see in boxes 1 and 2. So in box 1, I have a -3. In box 2, I have a +6. So we can use different tiles to represent our positive and negative numbers. And then we have tiles that we use to represent our variable and coefficients, okay? So here I've got a -2x or -2 times x. And then in box 4, I have a +5x or +5 times x, okay? So I can use different tiles to represent that. All right, so if I go back to box 1, so in box 1, I have a -3, okay? So to represent that -3, first of all, I need 3 tiles, and those tiles can be either red or yellow. Now, because this is a -3, I'm going to use 3 red tiles. So I've got a 3, 1, 2, 3. It's negative, which tells me those tiles need to be red. Okay. In box 2, I have a +6. So I need 6 tiles, and those tiles can be either red or yellow. Well, because this is a +6, I'm going to use 6 yellow tiles. So I've got 6 tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a +6, which tells me I need 6 yellow tiles. All right, now let's look at our variables. So in box 3, I have a -2x or -2 times x. So anytime we need to represent our variables with our algebra tiles, we use the bars, okay? So the bars can be either green or red. And what determines that color? Well, it's whether it's either positive or negative. So in this case, I have a -2x. How many x's do I have? I have 2 of them. They're negative, which tells me I need 2 red bars, right? How many x's? 2, 1, 2. It's negative, so they're red. All right. And then finally in box 4, I have 5x or 5 times x. Okay. So I'm going to use my bars to represent my variable. Well, how many x's do I have? I've got 5 of them. Are they positive or negative? Well, they're positive because there's no negative sign in front of it, right? So I'm going to use 5 green bars. 5x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5x. It's positive, so they are green. All right. So again, these are the 4 different tiles that we're going to use to represent our equations. Okay. I can have for my variables either green or red, whether it's positive or negative. And then for my constants or just my regular units, I can have positive where I use yellow or negative where I use red. All right, now let's look at some expressions. So here's an expression. I'm looking at box 5. This expression says x plus 3. Okay, this isn't an equation because there's no equal sign. Okay, so it's an expression. And all this says is I have 1x, right? And then I'm adding 3 to it. Okay, I'm not solving anything. I'm just going to use my tiles to represent this equation. So I'm going to read it from left to right, just like I read a book. I'm going to start with my x. How many x's do I have? I've got 1 of them. How many units do I have? I've got 3. Are they positive or negative? Well, this plus sign tells me it's positive. A plus sign and positive are the same thing, right? So I'm going to represent that with 3 yellow tiles or 3 yellow squares. So x plus 3, x plus 3. All right. Now let's look at the next one. So I'm looking at number 6. This one says 4x minus 7. So I'm going to read it from left to right. I'm going to start with my x's. How many x's do I have? I've got 4 of them. Are they positive or negative? Well, they're positive because there's no negative sign in front of it. So I'm going to represent that with 4 green bars, 4x. 1, 2, 3, 4x. And then after that, I've got this minus 7. Okay, so I need 7 tiles. All right, they can either be yellow or red. Well, this minus sign tells me that it's negative. A minus and a negative sign are the same thing. They look the same, therefore they're the same. So I'm going to use 7 red tiles. 4x minus 7. 1, 2, 3, 4x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, minus 7. Incredible. Wow. All right, now let's look at some equations. All right, so here is an equation. This is similar to the type of equations you saw in the 7th grade. So I have a 1-variable, 2-step equation. Here's my variable right here, this x. It's being multiplied by 2 and then added by 3, and it all equals 9. Again, I'm not solving this. I don't care what x is equal to. All I want to do is model this equation using my algebra tiles. So I'm going to read this equation from left to right, just like I read a book. So I'm going to start here. I've got a 2x. How many x's do I have? I've got 2 of them. Are they positive or negative? Well, there's no negative sign. Therefore, it's a positive 2x. All right, so I'm going to use my 2 green bars to represent 2x. 2x, 1, 2, 2x. After that 2x, I am adding 3. Okay, so I need 3 squares. Those squares can be yellow or red. Well, here is my plus or my positive sign, right? So I need 3 yellow squares. All right, and then it all needs to be equal to 9. Okay, so I need 9 squares. They're either going to be yellow or red. All right, well, is this 9 positive or negative? I don't see a negative sign in front of it. Therefore, it's positive. So I'm going to use 9 yellow squares. So 2x plus 3 equals 9. 1, 2x. 1, 2, 3 plus 3 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my gosh, we did it. We are equation masters. All right, let's look at one more. So this is, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. So here is the type of equations you guys are shown in the 8th grade. So now instead of just having my variables on one side of my equal sign, now I've got an x on both sides of my equal sign. Oh my goodness. How are we going to do this? Again, we're not solving right now. All we're doing is modeling this equation. Okay, that's it. So all I want to be able to do is use my algebra tiles to represent this equation right here. So let's read what this equation says. It says x plus 4 equals 3x. Okay, again, x plus 4 equals 3x. All right, so let's start from the left. So here's my x. How many x's do we have? We've got 1, right? Is that 1x positive or negative? Well, there's no negative sign in front of it. Therefore, it is a positive 1x. So I'm going to represent that with 1 green bar. After that x, I've got plus 4. Okay, so I need 4 tiles. Those tiles can be either yellow or red. Well, because this plus sign is right here, this tells me this is a positive 4. So I need 4 yellow tiles. So here's my left side of my equal sign. X plus 4. X plus 4. All right, so the left side's done. Now let's look at the right side of the equal sign. On the right side, what do I see? I see 3x, or 3 times x. So how many x's do we have over here? I've got 3 of them. My x is being multiplied by 3, so I need 3 x's. They can either be green or red. How do I know? Well, it's a positive 3x because there's no negative sign in front of it, so I need 3 green bars. So let's recap. X plus 4 equals 3x. X plus 4 equals 3x. Wow. Unbelievable. Let's see if we can get one more in here. Let's do one with some negatives. Here we go. All right. So here I have another equation. Again, I've got variables on both sides of my equal sign because we're in the 8th grade. That's how we roll now. All right. So I've got 3x plus 1 equals 4x minus 1. All right. Again, I'm not solving it. I don't care what x is equal to right now. We'll start solving next week. Right now, all I'm worried about is representing this equation using my algebra tiles. So I'm going to start from the left, work my way to the right. So on the left, here's my x. It's being multiplied by 3 times x, or 3x. So I need 3 bars. Those bars can either be green or red. This is a positive 3x, so I need 3 green bars. 1, 2, 3x, 3x. After that 3x, it is being added by 1 or plus 1. Well, because that's a positive 1, right, I'm going to use a yellow square. 3x plus 1, 3x plus 1. All right, left side's done. Let's look at the right side. Right side, I've got 4x minus 1. Here's my x. It's being multiplied by 4. 4 times x. How many x's do I need? I need 4 of them. Are they going to be green or red? Well, because this is positive, I know they're going to be green. 4x, 1, 2, 3, 4x. After that 4x, I've got minus 1. So I need 1 square. That square tile can be either yellow or red. Well, because this is a minus and negative, same thing. All right. I need a red square. All right. 4x minus 1, 4x minus 1. So again, here's our equation. 3x plus 1 equals 4x minus 1. And here's our representation. 3x, 1, 2, 3, plus 1 equals 4x, 1, 2, 3, 4x minus 1. All right. So that's it for modeling equations. Okay, next week we will jump into solving these equations or writing these equations. So until next time, guys, take it easy.